Hello YouTube, it's a bright sunny Monday, and that means clip rewind. So today we're gonna do my finger in the box video. There's lots of backstory to this one, and if you haven't seen it yet, I'll link it right here. You should check it out first. But without further ado, let's roll the bumps. This particular video, the finger in the box, has been relatively popular on my channel, so I thought it would be a fun one to do a clip rewind of. The finger in the box episode is the perfect example of how, when I started out, I was way too ambitious. I spent the entire day actually cleaning out that room. So when I finally sat down to do the edit and I came up with all these crazy ideas that I thought would make the video more interesting, I didn't really realize how long it would take. The entirety of the floating head had to be shot on the green screen, which at the time I had almost no experience with. So getting it right took hours. I didn't know anything about how to move things around the screen, so I learned all of that in this video. And what ends up happening here is that I'm up at 3 or 4 in the morning just trying to finish the video. Now I think there's some funny stories in here, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good video. I learned a whole lot. In fact, I may have learned more in this video than any other video I've ever done, but that doesn't make it good. This intro here is kind of long. I like it, but I probably should have made it a lot shorter than this, especially considering this was, at the time, one of my longer videos. Now, the way you see this room is years and years of stuff just piling up. I mean, it was filled to the brim with junk. A lot of it we've thrown away, but some of it is still sitting around. The entire point of cleaning this room out was essentially to look for my Wacom tablet, which I inevitably found, but I'm not exactly sure I get that point across very well in the video. I played the little head pong game in the beginning, and you can see somebody scored a point or whatever, and it got to the point later on where I was just lucky to be able to move the head around the screen and figure out how to do all that stuff, so basically you just got a bouncing head back and forth. It was also really difficult to actually get the dialogue to play over the specific part of the video that we were watching. It took me about 7 or 8 hours to clean out this room, and it probably took me another hour or 2 to put stuff back in it once I had it all cleaned out. Of those 7 or 8 hours, I filmed the whole thing, so I had to go through all that footage to edit it down to what you see here, and most of it is not very interesting. And I sped it up and did everything I could to make it as interesting as possible. But, you know, sometimes you got to do other things during the day, and you do what you can to make that footage interesting. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. And there are some entertaining parts, but overall, I don't know. Now, my kid actually wasn't a particularly big fan of my finger in the box joke, which I thought was exceptionally humorous, and he thought it was in poor taste. It's kind of funny, the things that some people find in poor taste and things that they don't find in poor taste, because I didn't actually think my kid was capable of being offended. Who knew? Maybe it was just in poor taste for him because it related to him. But as far as I knew before this, he's not offended by anything. The one thing I did find while cleaning out all this crap was that my kids were amazing artists, and probably still are if they exercise their ability to do it. I'd really like to go and profile some of their art at some point, but I'm not sure how to make it into an interesting story. So I'm probably going to work on that at some point, but we'll see what happens. The sheer volume of electronic equipment in this room pertaining to Rock Band and things of that nature is just staggering. This was long before I had any clue how to do any color correction, so my head looks like a big orange basketball. Overall, I suppose this video makes the best of what was really boring footage of me cleaning out a storage room. And given the fact that that sort of work actually has to be done and how much I learned doing this video, I think it's pretty cool. But if I had to do it over again, it'd certainly be a lot more entertaining, a lot cleaner, and a lot more fun. I learned so much doing this video that it's really hard to complain about all the flaws. If I'm being honest, it's actually a lot more interesting than it has any right to be. Hello fellow YouTubers. If you like what you've seen on my channel, please subscribe here. It goes a long way towards helping new viewers find my channel. Also, if you want to watch the last video I created, you can get that right here. And please leave me a comment. I love to interact with my viewers. Let me know how I'm doing.